Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning into Band on a Budget. This video here is just a response for Jermaine, so this video is for you, man. Shout out to you. The question was what type of hardware or what type of equipment I'm using for this Alesis Strike multipad setup. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, but I know sometimes choosing the right hardware and choosing the right attachments can be a bit tricky sometimes, just for compatibility issues. So what I've got here is the whole thing is actually set up on a single DW cymbal stand. So all I did was I took off the top section of the cymbal stand, which looks like this. It's just the top part. It's also the boom end of the cymbal, which you can adjust here, and then it will angle itself. So all I did was take that off the cymbal stand, and then I used one of the attachments from Roland actually to fit underneath the Alesis Strike multipad. If you're going to do a setup on a single stand for the minimalist kind of setup, definitely go for a very strong and rugged cymbal stand. This one here was very rugged, very sturdy. It's not their top of the line and not the strongest one they have, but it was definitely affordable. And it's definitely going to last a long time as well. So first of all, for the snare pad that I'm using, I used this attachment here. It's actually from Mapex. I'll make sure to put all the links in the description and some details about them. So this is actually a Mapex tom mount with the clamp going to the cymbal stand here. And the reason why I use this one is I like this part here is a ball joint. And what it does, it allows me to angle the snare either up, down, or rotate it, you know, kind of to the side like this. So this is really handy for the snare. It makes it very easy to put into the right position. I think it only cost me like 40 New Zealand dollars just for this attachment here. Now, a pre-warning, all the attachments and all the hardware together does get a bit pricey, but just slowly add over time. And drum hardware, if you look after it well, it will last you a lifetime, okay? So the next part, the pad that I'm using for a floor tom or a sound effect or a sub drop is actually this attachment here. It's I think it was a Gibraltar percussion attachment. I'll double check that, but I'll make sure to put it in the video. So this attachment here, so this is the one that I'm using for the floor tom. It's just a rod that you would use for maybe like a cowbell or some other percussion instrument. It's a very small, thin attachment that just clips on here. It's kind of fiddly to attach with, but I was definitely experimenting with different kinds of attachments to see which one works best. So far, I really do like this one here because of the ball end joint. But with the floor tom, it's just one stationary position. I don't really need to angle it, so this attachment here was much more cheaper option than this one. And I could still angle it. I can turn the pad around using this point here, or even adjusting it from the cymbal stand here. So it's a really simple option. The only thing I don't like about this particular attachment is this. Okay, so I've got a lot of excess rod here, which I could probably cut away, but then I won't be able to use it later down the track. And it's just because I needed the height of this to be further up. All right, the next part of what I'm using for the attachments here is for this kind of hi-hat or cymbal placement for this hi-hat pad that I'm using. So this one, I'm pretty sure it's by Pearl. Oh yeah, here it is, Pearl. So this was actually a second-hand purchase that I just got off one of the local trade listings. So what it does is it comes with the clamp attachment going to this rod here, the cymbal rod attachment. So you can change the position here just by loosening it here, and you can change this position. And then on the other side, you can loosen this and then change the position of this going either up or down. And then you've also got this part here, which you can change the angle, and then you can change the angle of the pad from here. So this attachment is actually pretty good. I wish I had a second one. So what it does is it allows me to have the attachment come out from underneath the strike multi-pad, and because this rod is quite long, actually it's not too long, to be honest. It's long enough for what I need it to do. It will reach outside the strike multi-pad and come out around so that it's exposed for a hi-hat. So that's yeah, so that's the pearl attachment there. Now down the bottom here, I didn't have this in the other video, but this is an attachment from Gibraltar. So again, I was trying to use different kinds of attachments and different bits of hardware to see which is going to be the best, most efficient, most versatile attachment. Now, the cool thing about this is that it's quite long in length, so it's able to reach out pretty far around the strike multi-pad. The downside is it's actually a little bit heavy. So once you add another attachment to it, the weight of this is going to start pulling the entire stand a little bit to the left or right, depending on where all the hardware is sitting. I don't know if you can see in the video, but the strike multi-pad, or the center of where the attachment is actually a little bit off to the left of where I'm pointing in the camera. So having this on this side, having this attachment on the left side, it's gonna pull the weight more that way. So you'd wanna offset or counterbalance that by putting it on the other side. Now, like I said before, I like this one a lot and I wish I had a second one for the same reason that I would use something like this. So like I said at the start of the video, this was just one piece of a cymbal stand and I took off the top. So I thought, okay, how else could I use the remaining bits of hardware that I originally got? And that's why I got this Gibraltar attachment, is because I can then put it to the side and then attach this here. And so now I've got another stand or another place to attach my final drum pad. The only problem I find with doing it this way is it's quite heavy. Like this DW cymbal stand just on its own, it's pretty weighty. It's quite heavy. And then combined with this, it's a lot of weight. Whereas this one here, this pearl attachment, it's not as heavy. And I could probably get the same result using another pearl attachment for this, going down here and then having the cymbal come up further here, or maybe put it onto the other side and have like a ride cymbal in this position. So yeah, there you have it. That's the cymbal attachments or the hardware attachments that I'm using. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying with different attachments, different bits of hardware to see what's the most versatile, what's the most efficient way to use it. But what I'm trying to create here with this Elisa Strike multi-pad is an all-in-one drum micro setup, or an e-drum setup for small cafe gigs and pretty much small venues that don't really have a lot of room for drummers, or if the fact that the venue is so small and you need to control the sound of the drums a lot more, this is where this thing comes in. And I wanted it all on one cymbal stand, just so I can chuck it all into like a suitcase or something, and yeah, and it's easily transportable. So I hope that helps, and if you got any questions, just leave it in the comments below. Thanks.